Hey guys, what's up? I'm gonna do an updated in the bag video for you. It's been a couple months since my last one, and I was still sorting through everything then, still trying stuff out. And for the most part, I feel like I got a pretty complete bag now. So we'll start off with my let's start off with my main putters. Still using the Judges, but I'm using the regular classic ones now. I got both of these. These are just the regular stiffs. I found a couple that they're still pretty stiff. Not they're pretty stiff. Most of the stiff line, they're all pretty stiff. There's a couple that have just a little give to them. If you you just gotta kind of dig through them. There's some that have some give because I like a little bit of grip. But these are really nice, good flyers. Next, I have one. Fusion Judge, just a thrower, slightly stable, kind of gets a good amount of glide, but it still has that nice controllable stable finish. I also tossed in a Swan. I used to throw a magnet for like my straight shots, up shot turnovers, kind of shorter shots, and this is kind of like a good replacement for it. This is, I think, Swan 2, but it's definitely got a good amount of glide and flies really straight with a little bit of turn to it. So this is a good replacement for me. I also throw the Pure, the Gold Line Pure. It's actually one of the silver ones. These ones feel the best to me. It's got a die max, pretty cool on top of it. These fly super straight, great glide. That's also just a thrower, obviously. And I also have two Suspects. Fusion and the Lucid. Lucids to me fly a little straighter. Still have that really controllable throw though to them. A nice, good strong hyzer out. And then the Fusions are a little more stable. Another cool Dimax I got from DD. Just a little more stability. I use this if it's a little windier. I'll use this one, and I use both of them for sidearms a lot for my up shots as well. Really good for that. And next is my mid-ranges. Let's start with, we'll go with flip. I'll do flippiest to most stable for me. And I got the Fuse. It's great for those slower straight shots if you're going to throw with a little bit less speed, or if you want to throw an anhyzer. This thing will hold the whole way. If you put it on an ante, it will hold. If you throw it straight with slow speed, it'll hold straight, but if you throw some speed on it, throw it pretty firm, it will flip up and turn. If you throw it hyzer, it should flip up and still turn a little bit right. If you throw it flat, it should just ante on you. Next I got the Warship in the Tournament plastic. This is the Tournament. There's a big difference. I'll pull them both out. You got both your these are West Side, so you got what's called Tournament plastic, and then also your VIP plastic, which is like your Opto and whatnot. Way more stable than the Tournament plastic. So these are like two completely different discs pretty much. This is like my Fuse, but a little more controllable, the Tournament plastic is. And then this one's just nice and stable, straight stable, so you can throw it and trust it. This is my most trustworthy disc so far for my straight shots that I found. I can throw it in a decent amount of wind. I use this at the Glass Blown Open. I just put it in my bag at the Glass Blown Open, and it's done wonders. So since then, I've only had it for a couple weeks, but I've loved every throw with it. So I'm surprised it took me so long to try this out, but I love it. I definitely suggest trying out a Warship, at least in the VIP plastic, for that consistency. I also throw the Core, which is a good disc in between both of those Warships, the Tournament plastic and VIP. This is a nice in between those. This is just really straight. Kind of holds whatever line you throw on it, so really handy. Good amount of glide too. And then my last mid-range I throw is the Pain. Just nice and consistently stable. It won't hold up in a lot of wind, and headwind anyways. Most all the other ones it can hold up pretty well, but if you're looking at like more than 15 or 20 mile per hour headwinds, probably more than 15, this thing's may not be the best choice. But if it's not too windy out, this thing is really easy to control, and you know it's going to go, if you're a righty, throwing back in, it'll go left for you, so it's nice and stable. really consistent, as long as it's not too windy. All right, I do carry a lot of variety in my bag. So we'll go with the Vision. Won't talk much about this. I just use it for really flippy shots or slow speed shots. It's a really quick roller for me. Like I can get it down real fast and it usually will always turn. But I can't get it to roll super far just because it's so flippy. But it's more of a utility disc. I also throw 2 strikers. Striker, got one in Opto. My Opto's super flippy. Good for tunnel shots or anhyzers that are a little further than I can throw my fuse. I throw this striker. You can't throw them super far, which is nice. So you can rip on them, and I usually can't throw them much over 400 feet on flat ground. And then this one's my straight kind of stable one, which is controllable, very controllable. This thing's super awesome, and this is in the gold line plastic. Like I said again, just good for those 400-foot shots. At my elevation, everything's more stable, so that's kind of like my straight to stable shot disc for that range, from about 350 to 400. Next, I got a Renegade. I haven't even thrown it yet. I just have it in my bag because I haven't played since pretty much about a week ago. Since I don't know, I only played once since the glass blown, and I didn't really play much that day, so I haven't gotten a chance to toss this yet. And I hear it's supposed to be a long turnover disc, and a fast turnover disc, and also a long range roller. So you can use it for either. I'm guessing up here in Colorado it's probably a long turnover disc, which could be pretty handy because I don't really think I have any that in Colorado that I can throw flat and have them turn right. That'll go over like 400 and some feet, so that'll be handy. I also, okay, so this next disc I love and I think it's amazing, and yeah, I got 2 Lucid Escapes. Fantastic disc, best fairway disc I've ever thrown. Seriously, not just saying that because I'm on dynamic discs, you know. I was blown away when I tried these out, and I just love them. My pink one's super straight, so straight, but so controllable. Like you just know what it's gonna do. It's so nice. And this one's a little more stable. So if I just need to, you know, if I got a little bit more wind, but I still want to throw that straight shot, I'll switch to this one. But yeah, this thing, I can't say enough about it. You should just try it out if you haven't. They go so far too, like, or you can throw them anywhere between 300 to, I've almost thrown 500 feet. So but I mean, you don't have to use them as a distance driver, but you can if you want to. But they're like a controlled distance driver, so they're kind of like, it's kind of weird. It's kind of like in between a distance driver and a fairway driver. So not really many discs like that. So it's kind of cool. Really, really useful disc. Let's see. I'm gonna save those for last because it's my main driver. I got the Flow. These are both Opto. They look completely different. They've got that clear crystal plastic and then the opaque yellowish green kind of day glow plastic. This one's Domi. I find these kind of opaque Optos that are Domi to be way more stable. So it's just really, really good 400 to 450 foot hyzer disc for me. Or if it's a little windy, I can trust this one. This one I wouldn't throw in the wind unless it's a tailwind or really light left to right. For my sidearms, that's pretty much all I use this one for, is sidearms. Because it's pretty flat. It fits really, the rim and just the shape of the disc fits really comfortable in my hand for my distance sidearms. So this is for distance sidearms. I also throw the Giant. Depending on where I'm at and what the weather's like, I will carry either none of these or 2 or 3 of them. It's a very useful disc. Up in Colorado, not so much just because it's so stable. But when I was at Glass Blown, I threw this thing like crazy. This was my main distance driver. It could hold a headwind. It was 35 mile per hour winds like they're like all weekend, and I used my 3 Giants constantly. So distance driver for headwind, or if you want to throw distance hyzers, you can trust this thing. Super stable, great disc. I really got to experience how amazing this thing is when I went to that lower elevation and in the wind. So I highly suggest this if you're at a lower elevation, or if it's windy where you are, definitely toss a Giant in your bag. Some more stable discs that I got in my bag. I got one Triple X. I got an Opto. I hear that the Gold Line plastic's a lot more stable. Well, I shouldn't say a lot more, but it's more stable than the Opto. But up here, my Opto's super stable, and I couldn't even imagine trying to throw something even more stable than this. I use this more for, like I said, utility disc shots, just spike hyzers really, or if it's super windy and I need to go about 300 to 350 into a headwind. I don't know if I can get it 350 in a headwind, but I would throw this if it's super windy in a headwind and I don't need to go super far. Great disc for that. I also throw a Trident, mainly for sidearms, just like 300-foot sidearms. It's got a really blunt edge, so it can't go very far, so you can throw it really hard, and don't expect this thing to, I don't even know if I could throw it 400 feet. If I threw it as hard as I could, I don't know, maybe. But this is made for those 300 to 380-foot shots, 380-foot shots in that distance, backhand or sidearm. Even 250 for sidearm. 250, I would throw this on hyzers and stuff. So just super, super consistent, utility driver, sidearm or backhand. Like I said, that blunt edge doesn't let it go too far, so you can put some stank on it and trust it not to go too far. And it also doesn't skip too much just because of that edge. I also, really key disc in my bag. I only got one up here just because Colorado, everything's already stable. So this thing's really stable. I guess it's a Villain, Opto Villain. Really like the Opto plastic for the Villain. The GL, Gold Line plastic, not near as stable, but it's still, the Gold Line plastic disc is also a really good disc. But it's just, like I said, it's another one of those ones where it's just kind of like a different disc if you throw the Gold Line. So if you want that consistent stability and trustworthy disc to throw in a headwind, or if you just want to throw a nice 350 to 400 foot hyzer, that is definitely not going to flip on you. Opto Villain, amazing disc, love this disc. And last of all, I throw the Trespass. I throw Biofusion. These go so far. They're really straight flying. In Colorado, they're really, really consistent for me. Really straight, slightly stable, not too stable. Lower elevation, they're a little flippier, obviously, but I can still control it really well. But it flips up a little easier. And then I also have that Lucid. This is Sparkle Lucid. It's kind of cool looking. I don't know if you can see that. Anyways, but just more stable, not super stable. It's just a little bit of an upgrade if it's just a little windier and I need something in between a Giant and my distance Trespass, then I go with this one, just a little more consistent. And yeah, all the dynamic discs that have come out so far, they're awesome. The only one I'm missing out of my bag really is a Fugitive, just because the rim doesn't really fit well for my hand. But aside from that, I mean, it's still a great disc. I was throwing it for a while, but I just had a hard time gripping it. So yeah, every disc so far I'm super happy with, and I just highly suggest you guys, if you haven't tried dynamic out or you haven't tried every disc out yet, totally try them out. You will not regret it. Oh yeah, and as you guys know, I use the dynamic disc Ranger bag. I just dropped everything. I got the prototype, so the walls are like this, but they fixed that with the new bags. If you're interested, get one. I highly suggest it. These are super comfortable. They fit on your back really well. It's just, like, I was shocked, honestly. I was a little skeptical at first, like I am with everything. So, but I highly suggest this bag. If you're interested in getting a new bag, definitely look at get one of these Rangers. They're awesome. So yeah, that's my bag. Hopefully, I gave you guys enough information, and I know I kind of went a little faster than I normally do with stuff, but if you have any questions, just ask, and I will fill you in. All right, see you guys later. Bye.